Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as per the title guys, you can see in today's video, once again, we're going to be talking about another Dusty who, regardless of him having one of the women that they claim to be so much better, so much submissive, at the end of the day, these male, it doesn't really matter the group of women that they're in a relationship with. At the end of the day, these male are despicable. They're always the common denominator within the whole predicament. So just in case you guys aren't necessarily familiar with these two that you guys are viewing here, her name is Brittney Bells, and this here is the brother to Keke Palmer, Dusty baby daddy, Sarunas Jackson. His name is Sarunas Jackson. He's gonna move on to say that this male is an F-list celebrity. I think that is a disrespect to F-list celebrity. I will say this male, he falls within the Z-list celebrity because I'm not sure about you guys, but I have never seen this guy in anything. But nonetheless, guys, listen to what the preference had to say about her Dusty, and then we will come back with more.
Put a finger down if you dated a F-list celebrity since 2021. You know, you guys had your back and forths on and off, but at the end of the day, you guys always came back to each other and talked about building a life and having kids, and you showed him unconditional love 24/7. You took care of his daughter like she was your own. Meanwhile, all of this stuff is going on. His brother had a baby and was dating a very, very, very famous child star actress, now adult, and they were going through their legal drama publicly, and her mother came out accusing your boyfriend of being an abuser, a narcissist, evil, every horrible thing you can think of. And all the while he's in your apartment hiding from people serving him, like law papers serving him. He's crying in your apartment about how everyone's trying to say that his character is like they've got him all wrong and none of these things are true. And because you're so in love with this guy, you believe every single thing that he says. He's been manipulating you this whole entire time. Flash forward to end of 2024, December 2024. You finally get tired of all of the back and forth, the up and down, the highs and the lows with this guy. So you write him an email that basically says, I cannot do this any longer. Please leave me alone. You know, I don't want the family that we discussed. You know, I know that it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen separately. Go on with your life. You know, this is just too much for me. He calls you. Why did you send that email? You go, it's pretty self-explanatory. So he basically tells you, let's work on us. Like, let's try again. Like, I see a future with you. All these things convince you all over again. And because you love this man deeply, you agree. So now you're hanging out, and now it's top of 2025. It's January. And you're thinking, okay, we're working together. Like, this is the love of my life. No relationship is easy, whatever. He wants to be here. I want to be here. Cool. We start watching a show one day, and we're watching this TV show, like a medical TV show, and there's a child that comes in to get an abortion. And I look at him, and he looks a little funny. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, is the show too queasy? He pauses the TV and tells you, I have to tell you something. Immediately you start to shake and you feel sick to your stomach, because the only thing this man could possibly tell you after all of his cheating and lying and scamming and everything else he's done is that he has a new baby coming. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly what he told me. Except for he said back in 2021, he gave his sperm to a sperm bank to this woman. She froze his sperm since 2021 and then randomly decided to unfreeze it without his knowledge and insert it in herself. And now she was waiting to see if she was pregnant. Mind you, I've been with this man since 2021 and he's never mentioned such thing because it is a lie. This man is such a liar that he couldn't even fess up and say, hey, when we were broken up for 3 days, I went and I had schmegs with someone else. So he concocted this crazy, bizarre lie that he donated his sperm. I asked to see a contract. I asked to see the woman. He would not show me any of these things except saying, I don't owe you an explanation. I'm not going to defend myself. You need to believe what I'm saying. I'm distraught. I'm crying. And then it becomes physical. After this man blows up and tells me that I'm nothing, that I will never be anything, looks around my apartment. Mind you, this man hasn't worked in months because Hollywood doesn't want to deal with him. His name has been smeared, and so has his brother. After he's taken money from you, he continues to tell you that you're going to be nothing. I've been supporting the man. And all of these things, then he resorts to hitting you. And this was not the first time. This was the second. Didn't tell any of my family or friends about this stuff because I thought I could handle it. So, yes, after I've been cheated on, lied to, publicly embarrassed, everyone and their mother knows that this man is awful. But yet, somehow, he gets invited to all of these Hollywood parties and people rave about him because he's a narcissist and he's wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask and, you know, I saw him that day for who he truly was, and he didn't like it, and he didn't like the things that I had to say, so he resorted into hitting me. Yeah, so put a finger down if you went through that. Yeah, this guy's gonna get his, but not by my hands. I think it's gonna be the Lord's.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is quite interesting that this woman, she for herself, she just said that regardless of all of the red flag that she was seeing, she continuously went back. So at the end of the day, can we entirely blame him for being this despicable waste of sperm? Because like I said, had she not been willing to overlook everything that he was putting her through, maybe she wouldn't have hit rock bottom with him. But nonetheless, we know these males, they will never take accountability for their very much despicable, disgusting action, right? So naturally, he decided that he was gonna come out here and deny the allegation. So as you guys can see here, according to the Shade Room, it says Sarunas Jackson denies ex-girlfriend recent claim of domestic abuse, which she said, no, I did not have a physical altercation with Brittney in the way it has been portrayed. So he's not really coming out here flat out and saying, no, I did not assaulted this woman. He's saying it did not happen in the way that she's claiming that it happened. So as you guys can see here, this was a question that was posed to him, and it says, did you have a physical altercation with Brittney at all? She alleged that you got physical with her twice. Once again, we already know these males, they're gonna come out here, they're gonna disrespect Black women in attempt for them to uplift this woman that they claim to be so much better. But at the end of the day, if these women are so much better than they claim that they are, you would think that that will be a motivating factor for them to come out here and not be dusty towards them. But like I said, we already know what the end result of all of these relationships are going to be when these women go out here and lay down with the pigs of society, right? So naturally, this dust bucket not really taking any type of accountability. As you guys can see, he responded by saying, no, I did not have a physical altercation with Brittney in the way it has been portrayed. I have never been violent toward her or any woman in my life. So it went on to say, Brittney has a history of experiencing abuse. I too, naturally, these males, instead of them coming out here and saying I'm a loser, yes, I did precisely what she said that I do. Notice how they're always going to make themselves seem like the victim within the whole predicament. Nonetheless, it continued to say, witnessed abuse in my childhood, causing me to have a significant caution and sensitivity surrounding this issue. With past false allegations made, they were weaponized, acknowledging that I am a 6.8 Black man. I'm overly cautious of my presentation and physical potential. I have always been intentional about how I conduct myself, particularly in moments of heightened emotion, Sarunas Jackson wrote. It said, with some news that I did not know was false at the time was received and shared with her. Brittney became angry with my dishonesty and responded with physical confrontation. In an effort to apprehend her and de escalate the situation, there was physical contact. However, at no point was this an act of violence, intimidation, or control. My only intent was to protect myself and prevent further escalation. While I understand how my physical presence can be perceived, I am not a punching bag. I have never used my size or physical strength to intimidate, harm, or violate a woman. He continued to say, since these public allegations, Brittney and I have been in contact on the phone in which she has apologized and denied any form of domestic abuse occurring in our relationship. We have expressed mutual apologies for the personal matters that have unfolded publicly. We have had an on-off connection for a few years, so I have deep respect for Brittney, and she will always hold a special place in my heart. So as you guys can see, he was asked other questions pertaining to what his preference say. As you guys can see here, it says, did you have a child with someone outside of your relationship like Brittney said, or did you actually donate sperm? He responded by saying, my 6-year-old daughter is my heart. She is my greatest purpose, my constant source of inspiration, and the reason I push forward despite the challenges that have come my way. I do not have another child or a child on the way. Beyond this, I respect the autonomy and choice of all women. Lastly, Dominique Perry mentioned that Brittney, if you guys aren't necessarily familiar with who Dominique is, this is the mother that he just mentioned, his 6-year-old daughter. She is the mother of his child. So this is why he was also asked this. So as you guys can see, it says, lastly, Dominique Perry mentioned that Brittney told her, you forgot to feed your daughter, and made a joke referring to her as, you guys can see, the R word. Did this happen? So naturally, the Dusty, instead of him coming out here once again and admitting to what he did, he said, given the unfortunate circumstances, my time with my daughter is limited at time as she live out of state now. Because of this, every moment we share is intentional. I do my absolute best to actively show up, nurture, and provide for her, ensuring that she is surrounded by love, care, and my family support. The suggestion that I have neglected her in any way is a misrepresentation to soar and formulate a particular narrative. While her mother and I have our differences, I hold deep respect for her as the mother of my child. Ultimately, my daughter's well-being should never be weaponized. My daughter is not forgotten. She is prioritized. Her needs, sensitivities, and genius are not only acknowledged but embraced. I want to foster an environment where she is seen, heard, and supported in every way possible. So as you guys can see, this situation, it started to escalate, and Brittney, basically, she had a lot more even after she decided to release that video. As you guys can see here, it says, Brittney took to social media to share a story about her ex-boyfriend, whom she referred to as an F-list celebrity. Again, I think it's a huge disrespect to the actual F-list celebrity. She also mentioned that his brother recently had a child with a famous childhood star, which, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is indeed Keke Palmer. So as you guys can see, even Chris Evans had something to say in regard to this. And they, as you guys can see, he stated, so Keke Palmer's mother was telling the truth. And what he's referencing is that, you guys know, I think it was sometime last year in 2024 when Keke Palmer, Dusty baby daddy, he was upset because Keke Palmer decided that she was going to go out. She was going to have a girls' night when she went to Usher concert. And Keke Palmer, being in the entertainment business, Usher also being part of that entertainment business. Actually, whenever these celebrities link up, they're gonna entertain us because at the end of the day, that is indeed their job. You guys remember that Darius Jackson with his broadcast, he was texting from Keke Palmer couch, from Keke Palmer internet, probably on the phone that Keke Palmer bought for him, trying to get the word to go against her, which oh boy, he was not expecting what happened after that. So basically, this is what they're referring to, because Keke Palmer mom, she came out here and ultimately said not only that Keke Palmer Dusty baby daddy Darius Jackson was abusive, but as you guys can see, also his Dusty brother Sarunas Jackson. So you guys can see the mother of his 6-year-old daughter also, she reached out to Brittney, basically confirming everything that Brittney ultimately say, right? So guys, this is all that I have to say on this very much dusty situation. Like I said, at the end of the day, regardless of these dust bucket coming out here pedestalizing either a light-skinned black woman, a mixed race woman, or a Becky, Marie, and Ling Ling, at the end of the day, we know that these male are always the common denominator. It don't matter the group of women that they go out here and get with. At the end of the day, these male only can hold up their facade of being the quote nice guy for only a period of time. Eventually, their proxy is gonna stop showing up. Their true demonic self is just gonna take over, right? But guys, this is all that I have to say on this whole predicament. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this preference coming out here and letting us know that she was in a relationship with this Dusty, taking care of him abusing her, he cheating on her, and now once she basically felt like she couldn't take the situation anymore, naturally this dust bucket coming out here and denying everything that she had to say. Again, what are your thoughts and opinion are? Please get in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.
Black women, it's time to hold ourselves accountable, because we are reaping what we sowed. We have lied and gassed black men up for centuries, letting them think that they are kings with no kingdoms, letting them think that they are the emperor when they are naked. And now we are dealing with the consequences of those actions. Instead of being honest with black men and requiring them to do better for not only themselves, but the community that they helped create, we have allowed them to tear it apart and then put it back together quietly behind their backs and then still let them get the credit for it.